The worst part about the Celtics being down 0-2 to the Knicks, and the worst part about them basically being done in this 2025 season, is just the greater NBA fandom and how NBA fans react to this kind of thing. And it is different from every sport, but I'll get into that in a second. Like the NBA and its media and its narratives and its fans are just completely and utterly and 100% controlled by social media. Like more than any other sport, it is completely Twitter driven, which is so frustrating. And so as bad as it was that I had to watch my team go down 2-0 and blow 20-point leads in back-to-back games and make NBA history in doing so, at like 1 a.m, I see this tweet and I can't help but like totally melt down and crash out. Now, it's from like a stupid, faceless, nameless account that's clearly a Celtics account. And it says, if the Celtics lose this series, people won't respect the 2024 title as much. And that right there is just the antithesis of what being a logical, reasonable sports fan is. And that is par for the course in the NBA. Why wouldn't you respect a 2024 title if they lose in the second round in 2025? Each of the last 5 NBA champions has lost in the second round the next year. We don't delegitimize any of those championships. None. Maybe the Lakers won. We don't do that. And like, what would this year crashing out in the second round have anything to do with winning 81 games last year and going 16-3 in the postseason? How? How does that delegitimize that at all? Like, it got me thinking right away. Like, what is the most iconic team in Boston sports history? Without a doubt, it's the 2004 Red Sox. It's one of the most iconic teams in the history of sports. I don't know if there's ever been a pro sports team that has had more of an impact in 1 year on their city and their culture than the 2004 Red Sox. Does anybody give half a fucking shit that they got swept in the division series the next year by Chicago? Does anybody care? Does anybody look at that 2004 World Championship banner at Fenway Park and say, yeah, but they got swept the next year by the White Sox? I don't really respect that one as much. Or how about the next most iconic? How about the 2001 Patriots? One of the great Cinderella stories in NFL history. It sparks the greatest dynasty in the history of the league. How did they do the next year? They didn't even make the playoffs the next year. And nobody watches the Adam Vinatieri game-winning field goal in Super Bowl 36 and says, yeah, but they lost on that tiebreaker the next year. The Jets made the playoffs. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to look at that one a little differently. What do you have to do to keep the respect for your championship team, for being the last team standing? How far do you have to win the title the next year? And if you win back-to-back titles, what happens if you lose the second round in the third year? Does the back-to-back titles get diminished? It's so fucking stupid. It's so stupid and sophomoric. And what I hate the most about it is that there's a ton of NBA fans and Celtics fans that think like that tweet. There's so many media people covering the NBA that think like this horseshit fucking take. What would this year have anything to do with this team dog walking everybody last year? It's so bullshit, but it's so NBA. This is what I hate the most about the NBA. The play style, I don't like it very much either to watch for, 6 months a year. I like the playoffs. I hate how much, the players are buddy-buddy. We all get that. But it's this. It's the fact that it's completely driven by social media takes. You could say that about sports media in general, but nobody holds a candle to the NBA when it comes to this. Because everyone covering the league is thinking, okay, what can I put out there that's going to be clipped and be the next viral tweet? How is my take going to be better than your take? How is my take going to be cooler than Stephen A's or Nick Wright's or Paul Pierce's or Joy Taylor's or any of this crap? Kendrick Perkins, Tim Legler, How are we going to make a take that's better than that we can clip into 1 minute or 30 seconds and get a whole bunch of likes? That's what drives it all. And it's the NBA at the forefront of that. And I just saw that tweet and I couldn't help it. I had to melt down the way I am right now. Like that's such a bullshit take. And it's such a rotten way of thinking, especially if you're a Celtics fan. Like, seriously, we just had that awesome run last year. It was the first title in a generation. They had worked so hard to get there. They had been to the conference finals a bunch of times. They had been to the NBA finals. They'd gone through a couple different iterations. They finally built around those 2 first-round picks, those 2 top 5 picks, and they got there, and they won it. And now after a second-round exit in the next year, you're going to say, that was a bummer, though. Like, cut the shit, man. Do any of us remember that they lost by 15 points at home in a Game 7 to the Orlando Magic in the second round the last time they won the title? The year after the last time they won the title? Like, I like had to have this moment of surrealness last night where I was like thanking God that we didn't have Twitter. I didn't have Twitter as a 6th grader back in 2009. Because you know what I did after they lost that series to the Magic? I just watched the 08 Celtics championship DVD. And I was fine. I was more appreciative of that championship. Not saying, that doesn't count anymore. I don't respect that one anymore. And what does that mean? If they were the best team in the 21st century last year, do you now make them the 4th best team? The 5th best team? Like, does anybody remember that the Lakers got swept by the Mavericks the year after winning back-to-back titles? How about the 85 Bears? Maybe the best team in NFL history. 15-1 through the regular season in 85. They win the Super Bowl. The next year, they go 14-2. But guess what? They lost in the divisional round. They didn't win a playoff game. In fact, they won 3 playoff games in the next 20 years. But does anybody look at the 85 Bears and say, oh, no, you know what? They're actually not as great as I thought because they only won 3 playoff games in the next 2 decades. No, they fucking don't. They don't do that. But this is what's corrupted this generation of sports fans, and specifically NBA fans, and it goes to the media who are much older than me also, where we formulate all our opinions on this game and this sport based off social media. It's the only reason that people were arguing that Anthony Edwards was a better player than Jason Tatum, because no statistic or career achievement has proven that whatsoever. But, Anthony Edwards makes better social media clips, and I see him on Twitter more. So therefore, Anthony Edwards equals better. It's just such bullshit, man. It's such bullshit. What is the standard? Do you need to make the conference finals the next year in order for you to respect a championship? Respect a championship. Shut up, man. Like, that is a one-way ticket to being fucking miserable. And at the risk of sounding like a Black Mirror episode here, like, this is all the worst shit about this generation and social media wrapped up into one league. The NBA, baby. Where all of our takes and all of our thoughts on past champions and current teams are based off just some people fucking tweeting. And it goes against, it's the league that breaks the golden rule of social media, which is that the fallacy of Twitter is believing that 40 people believing something means that 40 million people believe something. So much of the population is not on Twitter, and I wish I could be as well if it didn't tie into my job. I would love to not be on there because it's poison like this, man. Like, you're actually going to think of the 2024 championship differently because they're losing to the Knicks in the second round? God, what a joke, man. What a joke. The NFL is not like innocent in all this either. You know, there's still plenty of people on your social media feeds that were saying that Patrick Mahomes is already the GOAT, even though has less than half the titles that Tom Brady does. He's a hell of a player, but hasn't reached any of the accomplishments that Tom Brady has. So it's not like the NFL is innocent in all this too, but it's the NBA to the nth degree. And it's so goddamn annoying, man. It's so annoying. But that's just what I think. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Is it the league that is so much the most driven by social media, and how annoying is that? And are you going to respect the Celtics 2024 championship any less if they lose in the second round of the Knicks a year later? Let me know in the comment section below. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. It's completely free and helps me keep my job, whether you like that or not. And check out the other videos on the channel. I'm your host, Cam Stewart. Zach Burke keeps us on the air. We are live on YouTube, high noon Eastern time, 5 days a week, and then available wherever you get your podcasts.